I'd like to welcome everyone to our next installment in our program of self-empowerment. We want to examine what will lifestyle change do for your overall well-being. So even though we are not treating depression or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or obesity, there's no diet, is it possible in that year and a half, by living a healthier life, using different tools, that you will be able to reverse those conditions as a side effect of a healthy lifestyle? Now, if I am right, then it doesn't matter what condition you have, there should be an improvement in it. Because the very program to prevent an illness is also the program that helps overcome an illness, but just with modification. Now, we've never believed that. So you would be told, well, you've got one of 200 types of cancer, you've got one of 100 types of arthritis, so we'll give you, for your arthritis, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Yes, 16,500 died last year. Yes, 107,000 were hospitalized just for that one drug, just for one type of condition. But that's all we know. And then you're going to say, well, what's diet have to do with it? Nothing. Behavior, nothing. Stress, nothing. Nutrients, nothing. Well, maybe they're right. Maybe diet has nothing to do with anything. That's what we've been told by Orthodox medicine. Nothing, doesn't matter. You can eat hot dogs and French fries your whole life, every meal. Doesn't matter. Then again, what if they're wrong? What if all the garbage that American medicine has been stuffing down your throat was what's causing your illness? What if the primary cause of disease in the United States is your doctor, and the misinformation that he and the dietitian and the nurse and the public health educators have given us because of the control of knowledge and a perverted knowledge by the special interest groups, the dairy industry, the meat industry, the sugar industry, the refined confection industry, the pesticide industry? What if behind the scenes their manipulation of public policy to create so-called scientific truths that you just eat your basic 4 food group, you do all things in moderation, and you'll be good and healthy and live a long life, and you should be lucky to live to 70. And even if you have arthritis and heart disease and cancer and dementia, gee whiz, you got to be 70, isn't that good? Instead of, aren't we supposed to get 140? Isn't 70 just getting started on life instead of the end of life? And shouldn't we get there with no disease? So I cannot convince any of them at all ever to change their mind. I would do as well as trying to eat through that rock as to open the mind of the average physician. Now that doesn't make them bad, but it does make them obstreperous. It does make their knowledge intractable, just like the diseases that they cannot treat that are terminal. Well, they have a terminal limitation on innate knowledge, and the arrogance to assume that there is nothing that they need to know from people like myself or you, because we are not on the hierarchical structure. Their knowledge comes down, ours comes up. So I decided I will no longer try to fight that. I spent my whole career trying to push a rope up a hill, and if you don't think that's hard, try it. I have spent countless hours lecturing in medical school, New York Medical College, teaching in universities, doing all I can to try to open minds that are determined to stay closed. It is not as if there is not a desire for cures. There is, as long as it's theirs. But there's a real strong line of division. If it's their cure, yes. Our cure, no. Because ours would not be their methodology, their tools. Now, reasonable people would say, well, let's stop all this nonsense. Isn't that just a lot of ego? You know, we got to have it, they got to have it, I got to be right, they got to be right. Let's look at what is right. Let's simply take the best of all things and put them together so we can live a healthier lifestyle, live a longer life. Why argue? Why fight? We have not been the ones demeaning them. We have respected them. We have not been the ones that have tried to constrict the whole way we heal by creating laws that would keep any physician, no matter how successful they are, from using techniques that could make a difference. They have. We have not used words like pseudoscientific, quackery, charlatan to describe anyone offering alternative positions or the individuals who have benefited as delusional or psychotic they have. So look carefully at who has been doing the screaming, the yelling, the condemning, the threatening, the harassing, the imprisonment, the fines. Look who has really been the medical terrorists. It has not been us. So the fact that any of us have any form or any respect or any confidence to do anything in a society that has been purely supportive of the Orthodox point of view is rather remarkable. The fact that you're here shows you had to have courage to stand up for yourself at some point. Because a few years ago, you'd been considered a crazy person for wanting to try to get healthy. Well, you are healthy. You don't have any disease, do you? Well, doctor, what you're telling me is that I don't have a disease if you can't find one that's classically symptomatic. But think of it another way. The same logic would be, I'm either a millionaire or I'm a pauper. My gas tank is either completely full or totally empty. You're not acknowledging process. That my arteries could be 80% occluded before the first symptom occurs. And the first symptom could be a heart attack. So the day before my heart attack, you say, you got a clean bill of health. And the day after my heart attack, you've got congestive heart failure. The day before, 30 years of processing a cancer by eating and smoking and drinking and the things you say are okay in moderation, you'll say, I have no problem. And the day after the tumor appears, we got it early. No, it's 20 years late. So I'm suggesting that I am no longer any interested in working with that system because it has shown it does not want to work with me or people who believe as I do, that we should have an open mind and care about people instead about the power, the authority, the prestige, the money that comes with controlling a paradigm. There is no humility in medicine. I mean none. Do not let someone tell you that they're interested in helping the benefit of the people, in which case then say, doctor, get into a clinic 3 days a week and work for free and help the poor. Now, when I see that, I'll say, good for you. But I see all those big homes out there with all those fancy cars, and I see big bills, and I see people being paid even when they kill you. Unique profession. You win if you lose, and you win if you win. Something's wrong with that. So that's why I created this program. So this program is no longer going to butt heads with them. No longer going to challenge. Whatever they can do to help people, I support it. And I'm not supporting alternative medicine either, because alternative medicine is merely orthodox medicine with this little subhead to it. Chelation, or ozone, or bioxidation, or homeopathy. But it still doesn't take into account the whole dynamic of the individual, working in relationship to their mind, spirit, body. When was the last time you sat down with a physician, a holistic physician, who gave you an hour and asked you to talk about your spirituality? Asked you to talk about, are you honoring your life? And you don't think that's a part of health? It is. I'm looking at a whole new model, and it's a wellness model. Now, the wellness models works differently. It works on elimination, detoxification, rebuilding, and then exercise, stress management, a diet for a lifetime, and self-actualization, changing the things that do not work in our life, challenging our belief systems. You might call it 7 steps to total health. Now, each one of those steps has many different parts to it, as we will see when we start to explore it. The majority of the effort is not on diet. Diet's actually the easiest part of this whole program. Exercise is relatively easy. It's just the consistency, meaning when you start making a good choice, don't go back and make a bad choice. Keep making a good choice. But to keep the easy things steady and focused, you got to work on the hard thing. And the hard thing is the beliefs. It's the belief system that ends up causing you the problems. You never started and stopped a diet because you want to get healthier. You started a diet because you wanted to get healthier, and you stopped it because you couldn't consistently be kind to yourself. You couldn't continue to make the right choices. So we want to continue to make those right choices. Otherwise, everybody can go on a diet, lose weight. They go back to the old way. Everybody can start something, stop something. Think how many times in life you started projects and stopped the projects, right? Well, that's because you're working on the wrong end of the importance scale. You're working on counting the calories instead of who are you as a human being. If you worked on who am I as a human being, then counting the calories would not have been an issue. You wouldn't have had to count calories. So what we haven't done is, and what this program intends to do, is get you focused on what really is important. Now, because it's a wellness program, there's no discussion of disease. We're not giving a protocol to help any disease. But we've already done this 5 times over the last 7 years with large groups, 700 people, 1,000 people.